This is a chair yoga class for 40 minutes, and all you need is a chair and a non-slip surface under your chair, so you won't move as you do some of your poses. And I'll give you options with and without the chair sometimes, so you just have those choices to make. All right, but for now you can come to the edge of your seat and sit up tall away from your backrest. And think of aligning the bones in your body, starting with your feet. So take a peek at your feet, make them hip distance apart, and point your toes straight forward. And see if your knees track right over the center of the feet. Sometimes they like to bow in or out, so just point them right over the center of your foot. And then trace back to the hips. From your hips, can you feel your ribs sitting on top? And if not, you might have to shift them back a little bit or shift them forward. From your ribs, can you feel your shoulders living on top? And if not, you might have to adjust. And then from there, can you bobble your head so that it floats right in between the shoulders? And once again, you might have to make some adjustments. And this could feel awkward at first, especially if we have a posture that doesn't promote this all of the time. But eventually, when you stack the bones like this, you begin to feel weightless, and gravity just kind of pours through you without effort. Now close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Yoga is first and foremost a breathing practice. So if you do anything, just remember to breathe with attention today. And think of the breath moving in and out through your nose, seeing if you can sense steady stream there. Coming in and out through the nostrils. And then sense the length of your breath. Notice if the inhale feels longer or shorter than the exhale or vice versa. Notice the depth of your breath, which really is more of the lowness, not so much how much breath you're taking in, but where do you feel the breath moving? Could be around the belly, the back, the side ribs, the chest, maybe even to the shoulders or upper back. And then can you even sense the temperature of your breath? Is it warm? Is it cool? Is it humid or dry? So you're just gaining information, gaining sensitivity to your breath, so it becomes more of a conscious practice rather than something we just do on autopilot. And we'll start with just 3 breaths here. In through the nose, counting to 3, and out through the nose, counting to 3 or maybe 4 or 5. Okay, so let's take a breath in, inhaling 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, or maybe 5. And then when the desire is strong, breathe in again. 1, 2, 3, filling from the bottom all the way up, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 from the top all the way down. One more time like that on your own. And then at the bottom of your exhale, join your hands together right in front of your chest. And if you'd like, you can set an intention or a purpose for your practice or even for the rest of your day. And this could be a word or a phrase that you repeat silently. You can come back to at any time for a reminder. Something like peace, or stillness or joy. Whatever you like. And then breathe in through your nose. And this time let it out your mouth. And start to rub your hands together. Warm yourself up, build some heat. And then once your hands are warm, you can cover your eyes. If you have glasses, you might move them out of the way. And feel some of that warmth soothing your face. Blink your eyes open and then release the hands back down. You can put your glasses back on if you need to. All right, and we'll start with some movements now, or some asana postures. So let's begin with some mobility for the neck and the shoulders. So take an inhale and exhale. Just drop your chin towards your chest and look down the length of your body. And then inhale, simply lift your head up back to center, or dip it back, lifting your chin towards the ceiling. And then exhale, nod your head looking down. Inhale, lift your head up or look up. Now you can involve the eyes as much as you like. So looking down the body or even at the tip of your nose. And then as you inhale, looking possibly up towards the ceiling or at your third eye point, right in between the eyebrows. Do that one more time. You can even open your mouth a little bit as you lift, let the jaw unhinge. And then come back to center, neutralize. And now lean your head over to one shoulder. And just feel that stretch right around the base of the ear, base of the skull, radiating down through the side of the neck, the shoulder, and even the arm, which you can just let dangle for a moment. Take another breath here. Imagine that arm getting heavier, like you were holding onto a weight. And then lift your head back up and just go to the other side. So you could find a difference right away. You might have more or less range of motion, and that is normal. But with that awareness, we can start to create more balance. So if this is your stretchier side, maybe back off a little bit. And if it tends to be your stiffer side, you could linger here for a breath or two longer. Maybe even let that arm dangle. Imagine you were holding on to something a little heavy just to help relax the shoulder. And then slowly come back up, neutralize, and bring your hands to your shoulders. And we're just going to make circles with the elbows. So you can imagine you were tracing on the walls beside you, like you had a little crayon or marker on your elbows. And feel the opening around your chest and your upper back. And breathing into this area that we're stimulating, stretching all those tissues. So breathe into your chest, breathe into your upper back, behind the shoulders, and then switch directions and go the other way. These could be really small rotations, or they could be a bit larger if it feels comfortable. Notice the position of your upper body. If you have a tendency to slouch, you might have to remind yourself to sit up tall. Use your belly muscles for support. Do one more loop here. And then relax the arms down, just give them a break. And let's go to the feet. So you could either stretch one leg out in front of you and start to make circles with your foot. Or if you prefer, you could pick the leg up and either hold the shin or under the thigh and start to make some circles. And then go the other way. So in a lot of yoga classes, these distal edges, the feet, the hands, the corners of the body, they get a little bit neglected. So it's nice to sit down and focus on those areas, especially the feet, because we stand on them, we use them all the time. Go back and forth, point and flex. And then wave from side to side, just like you can with your hands. And then now try to squeeze your foot into a fist and spread your toes out wide. You might find this to be a little tricky. Sometimes the toes don't like to cooperate, but the more you do this, you'll find that it gets easier. All right, now set that foot down and just feel the four corners of the foot, the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the inner and the outer heel planting down firmly, taking up a little more surface area. And then either lift the opposite foot up and start to roll the ankle, or you could hold the front of the shin or under the thigh to support the leg as you do this. And so these circular motions help to improve circulation, which brings oxygenated blood, nutrients, helps to eliminate waste from these areas. Overall, just brings about a good sense of well-being. All right, point and flex. Keep breathing as you do this. It's tempting to hold our breath if we concentrate too hard. And then go side to side, wave your foot. And then lastly, squeeze it into a fist as tight as you can. Let it go, spread your toe line, squeeze them in. And spread, and one more time, stretch your big toe and your pinky toe as far apart as possible, and then set the foot back down. Same thing, find the four corners, the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, inner and outer heel, and push through those four corners to feel more balance and support. And this is useful anytime you're sitting to really push into the surface area of your feet, and you should feel a rebounding upward. So now that we have our feet planted, let's take a breath in and stretch the arms out and up with as much freedom and lightness as you can find. And then exhale, just float the arms back down. This is sometimes called a sun breath, or the beginning of a Surya Namaskar, a salutation to the sun. And if your shoulders are stiff or you have an injury, you just go as high as you can. Even stopping at shoulder height is fine. And then lower the arms down. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in as you lift up. You might find a little pause at the top, and then exhale as you float the arms down. And there could be a pause at the bottom. Wait. Breathe in and then lift your arms back up. You can even look up if you like. And then last time, exhale, lower the arms to your sides. Good. Okay, now hands come to your thighs. I'm going to turn to the side of my chair just so you can see a little bit better. And we'll do some cat and cow stretches for the spine. So the hands can rest on your lap, or they could hold the side of your chair or armrest. We'll take an inhale and lift the chest up, roll the shoulders back, maybe look up, and exhale, round your spine, shrug your shoulders forward, tuck your chin, and look down. And then do that again. Keep a little tone in the belly to protect your lumbar spine, and then really squeeze the abdominal muscles as you round in. So this becomes toning for the belly region. And for most of us, this position, the extension, the lifting up, might feel a little bit foreign, but the rounding in might feel more familiar if you have a tendency to slouch. So you can stay in this lifted position, imprint that into your spine, squeeze your shoulders back and down away from your ears, engage your back muscles, and then relax that area, stretch it out. Once more. And my hands are sliding back and forth as I do this, so if that happens for you, that's okay too. All right, and come back to center. If you happen to turn in your chair, you can turn back around. And let's take a side stretch. So you can open your legs a little bit wider for this if you prefer. You could also use your armrest for support depending on the type of chair that you have. So either one elbow goes to the armrest or one elbow goes to your thigh to act as an armrest. I'm using my right arm on my right leg. Left hand comes to my hip, my shoulder, or it can lift up or possibly even angle alongside my ear. So whatever version gives you the greatest expression and freedom for breathing is the version that you should stay with. Keep both of your bottom cheeks in your chair. It's really tempting to want to lean to the right hip more. And breathe space in between your left ribs, opening up those soft tissues so your lung can expand more. Take one more breath. Stamp your feet down. Use those four corners for balance. And then push into your feet, engage your belly, slowly come up, and let's go to the other side. So left hand either rests on your armrest, or it can come to your thigh like a little shelf. Right hand comes to the hip, the shoulder, or lift it up, or even angle it alongside towards your ear. And then as you lean, can you even revolve your ribs, your belly, your chest back a little bit so there's a slight twisting or spiraling around your spine. And take a few breaths here, now finding length from the right hip all the way up underneath the armpit, even into the outer wrist if you're lengthening your arm. It's like a big yawn for the side of the body. And if you remember that breath ratio, you can come back to that. 3 count inhale, and maybe a 3 to 5 count exhale. Slowly come up, push into your feet, use your belly muscles. You can draw the legs back in, and let's come into a twist. So if you have an armrest, you can use it to your advantage here. You can turn your body to the right, holding on to the armrest on your right side with both hands. If you don't have an armrest and your chair is kind of like mine, you can turn to the right so that you can hold on to the back of your chair, the back of your seat, okay? And you might have to scooch back a little bit to make it a little more comfortable. So hands on either side of the armrest or the back of the chair. Push with your right hand and pull with your left hand. So you have some actions going on in the arms to help assist your spine and your ribs to turn to the right. Keep your chest lifted, your head right in the center of your shoulders. And feel like you're wringing out not only your belly, the organs in your abdomen, but also right in between the stiffest part of your spine, the thoracic region, right where the shoulder blades kind of outline. And each time you inhale, can you imagine getting a little bit taller? And every time you exhale, can you draw your belly muscles back and in for a bit more support? One more time. And then slowly come out, and let's go to the other side. So either simply turn to your left, hold on to your armrest, or go all the way around in your chair. Hold on to the backrest, and hands could be about shoulder level here. You're going to push gently with your left hand and pull gently with your right. And just feel how the arms help to twist the upper body and create more space. And these twists are really good at decompressing the spine, creating more space between the vertebrae. And as a result, it can help release tension, reduce pain. sometimes even all the way up into the neck. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly unwind, come back to center. All right, and let's go back now to the arms. So let's shrug the shoulders up to the ears, take a breath in, and exhale, just let the shoulders fall, okay? If this is painful for some reason, skip it or do it in really slow motion. So inhale, lift the shoulders up, and exhale slowly or with one swift movement, let them fall. One more time. Like any burdens you're carrying, you just let them fall off your shoulders. All right, now for your hands, let's start to make circles with the hands and the wrists. Just looping them around a few times, and then go the other direction. And then kind of flop them casually back and forth. You've ever seen a little baby start to learn how to wave? Kind of looks like this. And then go side to side. You can spread your fingers as you do this. So it's the same movements we did with the feet. And then now squeeze your fingers in, spread them out. Squeeze into a tight fist and open. And once more, really tight grip. And open. Okay, now interlace your fingers so the palms are touching, and then flip the palms forward and reach your arms in front of your chest. So from the side, just looks like this. Okay, now without actually separating your hands, try to pull them apart. So you engage a little bit of isometric energy or action, and you should feel the back of your shoulders, your deltoids, your triceps start to fire and engage more. Now you could stay with this, or you could lift your arms up to any angle that's appropriate. So it could be slightly above your head, or it could even be all the way up towards the ceiling. Now you could bend your elbows if you have some stiffness. Sometimes that helps to alleviate stiff shoulders. Even gives you more feedback if you keep that active pulling or tractioning through the fingers. Notice if your front ribs jutted forward, send them back. Keep them right on top of your hips. Take one more breath. And then exhale, lower the arms down, release, and feel that warmth just kind of dripping down from the shoulders into your hands and your fingers. Feels good, I hope. All right, now scooch back to the edge of your seat if you kind of drifted. I did. And we're going to work with a march to fire up the abdominal muscles. So what happens when we sit often is these muscles just go lax. But if we can keep them engaged, we can stay seated with a healthier posture and not put as much pressure on our low backs or spine. So you can hold on to the seat if you like, or your armrests, and we're going to lift one foot off the ground at a time. Just kind of like you're marching in slow motion. And the idea here is as if the belly is instigating the movement. You can even think like you had puppet strings attached from your knee to your navel, and you're pulling that string in to lift the weight of the leg, squeezing your belly muscles. Or it might even feel like a deepening. They go further back towards your spine rather than affirming, or both. Okay, now if this is relatively easy and you want to challenge yourself more, you can kick your leg out in front of you. And this could be as straight as you like through the knee. You push through your heel, spread your toes, and you might even get a bonus stretch through the back side of the leg. Notice if you're slouching, maybe go back to just the knee lifts. So preference your spine, over the lift of the leg. And just breathe as needed here. This is a bit more aerobic. But focus on in and out through the nose. All right, now if you want to make this even more challenging, now we add the arms. So tapping opposite hand to knee or to straight leg anywhere on the leg. And if you have the flexibility or super long arms, you can reach towards your toes, but that is not necessary. If you want to pick up the pace, this definitely starts to elevate your heart rate. Or you could just keep it nice and slow. Either way, try to be mindful with your movements. Focus on what you're doing. Maybe even remind yourself of your intention or your purpose for practicing yoga today. All right, once more on each side. And take a break. Plant your feet down firmly. Root through those four corners. Breathe in. Stretch your arms out and up. Exhale. Lower the arms. Now we're going to add on with a half sun salutation or Ardha Surya Namaskar. So inhale, stretch the arms up. Find as much length as you can. Exhale, lean forward, part your arms wide, and either rest your hands on your thighs or slide them down your legs towards the feet or the floor and drop your head. Relax your back. Inhale, lift yourself up halfway. Belly comes off of your thighs, hands slide up the legs. Exhale, fold back down. Relax from the tip of your tail all the way through the crown of your head. Push into your feet, push into the four corners. Lift yourself all the way up as you breathe in. And exhale, just lower the arms down. So that makes one round, and we'll do two more. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up through the arms. Maybe look up. Exhale, lean forward, long spine, engage your belly, part the arms and slide them down to wherever's comfortable. Relax through the back of the neck. Inhale, come up halfway, lift and open your chest, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, fold back down. Push into your feet. Inhale, lift yourself up. And exhale, lower down. Let's do that once more. Inhale, lift and capture space. Exhale, keep that space and relax into it as you fold forward. Inhale, gaze in front of you, open your chest. Exhale, fold back down, relax your head, relax your face, relax your jaw. Press into the feet, inhale, come all the way up, sit tall, spread your arms. Capture space again, and exhale, relax the arms, relax into that space. Okay, hopefully that felt good. Now here's an option for coming up to stand. So if you feel comfortable, you can come and stand either behind your chair or to the side of your chair. I'm going to turn my chair so that I'm facing the back just because I have a higher ledge for my hands. And we're going to do a lunge. So you can step your right foot forward, your left foot back. The longer your stance is, the more challenging it is for your balance. The shorter your stance, the little easier it is. And we'll start to bend the knee and kind of inchworm your toes underneath the seat so the knee touches the back of the chair. And this is going to help ensure that we have good alignment through the front leg. So the knee stacks on top of your heel, The toes point straight forward in the direction of the knee. And then reach through your back leg, lifting your thigh up towards the ceiling and pressing your heel towards the back wall. So your legs should feel pretty strong and active here. Now drop your tailbone, scoop your belly muscles in and up to neutralize your spine. There's often a tendency to go into an extreme back bend. Lift your chest and hold the chair for balance, or you could rest your arms in front of you, or even lift the arms up if you want to test your balance. And take one more breath here. And slowly lower the arms, hold onto the chair, and switch sides. So your left foot comes forward, right foot goes back. Kind of inchworm your left toes underneath the seat. Bend your knee so the knee touches the back of the chair. And that's going to keep your knee on top of your heel. You can even push into it a little bit. Okay, now press up through your back thigh to straighten and strengthen your leg. Reach through your back heel. And then neutralize your pelvis by dropping your tailbone and lifting the pit of your belly. So you might even feel a deeper stretch across the front of your right thigh as you do this. Hold onto the chair for balance, or you could rest your arms on the chair or even lift them up. Find one point to gaze at, steady your focus. That can help to steady your mind. One more breath. Lower your arms down. Step your foot in or back, or kind of get out of it as you need to. And we'll do one more pose standing here. Let me just clear the screen. Zoom is giving me a notice. So this class is a 40-minute class, and Zoom will time us out. So if it ends abruptly, that's why. We have a few more minutes though. Okay, so this next pose is tree pose, and we'll use the chair to help us with balance. So if you are familiar with tree pose, you could have your hand rest on the chair, and I'm going to start standing on my right foot, bringing my left foot to my inner ankle. This could be your pose here. So holding the chair, or if you prefer, you could hold your hips, or even bring your hands together if you feel secure with your balance. Now you could also slide your foot right below the knee, or even lift it up closer towards your groin. So we're just avoiding the knee joint. Now if tree pose is kind of newer for you, or you'd like to use the support of the chair, you can rest your knee on your seat, which is quite nice. Take some of the weight of your leg. And then you can hold onto the backrest. You might not even need it. You can bring your hands together. You can even reach them up. Whatever feels good. Find one point to gaze at and take a full cycle of breath. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5. All right, lower the hands. Use your chair for support. Step down and go to the other side. Or you can turn around, but I'm going to face you. So your choice. If you know tree pose, you can go right into it. Find the place for your foot. If you'd like to use the support of the chair, your knee comes to rest. And you'll kind of have to figure out the dimensions, how close you need to be to the chair, how far away, depending on how long your legs are. Hold on to the backrest if you like, or you could hold your hips, join your hands together, or even reach them up. And let your breath flow freely. If you find that you're holding your breath, just come out of the pose. One more breath here. 3 count inhale. Maybe 3 to 5 count exhale. Slowly lower the pose and come back to your seat. All right, we have a couple more minutes now, so let's end with a forward bend. So at the edge of your chair, you can either have your legs wide apart, in which case you might need to bend your knees. I find that more comfortable. Or you could have your legs together and rest on your heels, so your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, and we're just gonna slide the hands down the legs until you feel a nice stretch through your back, or the backs of the legs, or both. Now, if you find yourself rounding your spine excessively, you've gone too far. So keep the spine open, the chest open, and tilt from the pelvis. Roll your pelvis forward on top of your thigh bones, and then maybe slide the hands down a little lower. And if your legs are open, you could rest your elbows on your thighs, keeping your spine long, or you might even be able to bring the hands to the floor and drop the head. So you have a few different choices. You can explore what feels the best. Maybe even nod your head yes and no. Release any excess tension or effort through the neck, through the face. And focus on nice, slow exhales. And that helps to induce more calm throughout the whole body. All right, now when you're ready, if your feet are apart, you can heel toe them in. Walk your hands up your legs. Slowly come back to sit. Maybe even tuck your chin. If you feel a lot of pressure or you feel a sense of dizziness. And just let the body reacclimate. Okay, now we'll come to have Savasana, or corpse pose. So with the chair, you have a couple options. You could either sit back in the chair all the way towards the backrest, maybe even put a pillow behind you so you feel more support. And just make sure you're not going into a back bend. So you want to still feel like you're sitting upright with good posture. If your feet are not flat on the floor, you might place little books underneath them just so they can be flat. And you could sit here if you like, okay? In which case we'll close our eyes and just relax the body. But if you have the space and you feel comfortable to do this, you could also lie on your back and rest your calves on the seat of your chair. And this takes a little finessing, but this could be your Savasana or corpse pose. All right, so I think we have maybe one more minute. You can take as much time as you like here, 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. Let all of the benefits of your practice sink into your body, to your mind, to your spirit. Maybe reflect for a moment on how you feel or on your intention. And then just let all of your effort go. Relax your breath, return to normal breathing. Relax from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet.